Welcome everyone to our new series on the bookish buzz. Today we're embarking on a riveting journey, a journey of self-understanding and mental well-being. And we're doing this through the lens of an insightful book, Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before? By Dr. Rajiv Gupta. If you're new to our channel, let me tell you this. If you don't find value in our videos, feel free to dislike and move on. But if you're someone who appreciates the effort we put into delivering quality content and find our work valuable, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. Now we're about to dive into the third book of our 9-day, 9-book exploration. So buckle up, folks. It's time to unravel the mysteries of our minds and emotions. Ever wondered why you react the way you do in certain situations? It's all about the brain and emotions. Our brain is an intricate organ, an enigma wrapped in billions of neurons, forming a complex web of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It's like a maestro, orchestrating our every move, every emotion, every thought. Understanding this intricate structure and function of the brain helps us decipher ourselves better and enables us to manage our mental health more effectively. But here's the fascinating part. Our brain, this maestro, is not set in stone. It's constantly changing, evolving, and adapting in response to our experiences. This phenomenon, known as neuroplasticity, means that we're not mere passive recipients of our brain's commands. We have the power to change our brains and thereby our mental health through our thoughts, actions, and experiences. It's like we're co-composers in this symphony of life. Now, let's delve a bit deeper. Our thoughts and emotions are not just abstract concepts. They have a concrete, physical effect on our brain chemistry. Negative thoughts and emotions like fear, anger, or sadness can trigger the release of stress hormones. These hormones, while essential for our survival, can, in excess, wreak havoc on our mental health, leading to conditions like anxiety and depression. On the flip side, positive thoughts and emotions like joy, love, or gratitude can stimulate the release of chemicals like endorphins, often referred to as feel-good hormones. These chemicals can enhance our mood, reduce pain, and contribute to a general sense of well-being. But sometimes, our brains can trick us into seeing reality through a distorted lens. These distortions, known as cognitive distortions, are negative thought patterns that can contribute to anxiety and depression. They can lead us to misinterpret situations, make unhelpful decisions, and generally make life more difficult than it needs to be. However, the good news is that we can identify and challenge these cognitive distortions. By recognizing these negative thought patterns, we can learn to question them and replace them with more realistic and positive thoughts, thereby improving our emotional well-being. Understanding your brain and emotions is the first step towards managing your mental health effectively. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by anxiety or low mood? You're not alone. Today, we'll explore practical strategies to manage these feelings and improve your mental health. Anxiety and low mood can often stem from cognitive distortions, those negative thought patterns we discussed earlier. By identifying and challenging these distortions, we can significantly improve our emotional well-being. But that's just one piece of the puzzle. There are other tools we can use to manage our emotions effectively. One such tool is mindfulness. Imagine being able to calm your mind, to silence the whirlwind of thoughts, and to just be in the present moment. Sounds good, doesn't it? Well, mindfulness can help us achieve that. Through practices like meditation, deep breathing, and progressive muscle relaxation, we can promote a sense of calm and relaxation, reducing symptoms of anxiety and stress. Another powerful tool is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. CBT is a structured, evidence-based approach that focuses on identifying and changing unhelpful thought patterns and behaviors that contribute to negative emotions. It's like reprogramming your brain to think and react differently. In addition to these techniques, developing healthy coping mechanisms for stress and difficult emotions is vital. This could be anything from exercise, spending time in nature, or connecting with loved ones. And remember, it's okay to ask for help. Seeking professional help, be it a therapist or counselor, is not a sign of weakness. It's a demonstration of strength and a commitment to improving your mental health. Throughout this journey, remember to be kind and understanding towards yourself. Navigating the challenges of anxiety and low mood is not easy, but with the right tools and support, you can manage your emotions effectively and improve your mental health. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. So let's dive into these strategies and build a toolbox for managing our emotional well-being. Resilience is not something we are born with, but rather something we build. It's our ability to bounce back from adversity and maintain a state of balance and well-being. So, how do we build resilience and enhance our overall happiness? Let's explore. Firstly, self-care is crucial. This goes beyond bubble baths and spa days. It's about prioritizing your needs and well-being. This includes getting enough sleep, maintaining a balanced diet, exercising regularly, and engaging in activities that bring you joy and relaxation. Next, building healthy relationships is essential. We are social creatures, and having strong, supportive relationships can provide a sense of belonging, reduce feelings of stress, and combat loneliness. Nurturing these relationships requires time, effort, and communication. Then, we have the quest for purpose. Finding a sense of purpose in life can contribute to a greater sense of fulfillment and happiness. This could be anything from pursuing your passions, contributing to a cause you care about, or finding satisfaction in your work or hobbies. Developing positive habits is another key step. This can help cultivate a more optimistic and resilient mindset. Practices like expressing gratitude, staying present, and using positive self-talk can shift your perspective and promote a more positive outlook on life. Finally, maintaining a healthy lifestyle can significantly impact both your physical and mental well-being. This includes regular exercise, a nutritious diet, adequate sleep, and avoiding excessive alcohol and substance use. Remember, building resilience and enhancing happiness is not a destination, but a journey. It requires patience and self-compassion. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and don't hesitate to seek professional help when needed. There's no shame in asking for support. So let's take these steps together, building our resilience and enhancing our happiness. It's a journey worth taking. Ever found yourself stuck in a loop of negative thoughts? Let's delve into the world of cognitive distortions. Cognitive distortions, in simple terms, are ways that our mind convinces us of something that isn't true. These inaccurate thoughts reinforce negative thinking or emotions, telling us things about ourselves and the world around us that, quite frankly, aren't helpful or accurate. Cognitive distortions contribute significantly to anxiety and depression. They're like dark-colored glasses that can distort our view of reality, leading us to see things through a lens of negativity, fear, or disappointment. Let's look at some common cognitive distortions. First up, we have all or nothing thinking, also known as black and white thinking. This is when we view things as either all good or all bad. There's no middle ground. For instance, if we make a small mistake, we might think we're a complete failure, disregarding all our previous successes. Next, we have overgeneralization. This is when we take one event or piece of evidence and generalize it to an overall pattern. For example, if we fail at a task, we might think that we'll fail at all tasks in the future. It's like seeing a pattern based on a single event. Finally, there's jumping to conclusions. This is when we make interpretations, even though we don't have all the facts. We might predict that things will turn out badly, or we might assume that someone is thinking negatively of us without any evidence. These cognitive distortions cloud our thinking, warp our perception of reality, and feed our negative emotions. But the good news is, we're not helpless. We can learn to identify these distortions, understand their impact on our emotions, and challenge them. By recognizing these distorted thought patterns, we can start to replace them with more realistic and positive thoughts. Recognizing cognitive distortions allows us to understand the root cause of our negative emotions. So, the next time you find yourself trapped in a whirlwind of negative thoughts, take a step back and ask yourself, is this a cognitive distortion at play? Now that we know what cognitive distortions are, how can we challenge them? That's the question we're going to answer in this part of our discussion. Cognitive distortions, those negative thought patterns we've talked about, can often feel overwhelming. But don't fret. There are techniques we can use to identify and challenge them. One of the most effective strategies is a process known as cognitive restructuring. It sounds complicated, but it's really not. It's all about learning to catch these distortions, examine them, and then replace them with more realistic thoughts. Imagine you're a detective, and your job is to hunt down these distortions. They're sneaky and often hide in plain sight. But once you've found them, you can start to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought based on facts, or is it just my interpretation? Am I jumping to conclusions? Are there other ways to look at this situation? Once you've challenged these distortions, the next step is cognitive restructuring. This is where you replace those negative thoughts with more positive, or at least more realistic ones. For example, if your distortion is, "I always mess things up," you can replace it with, "Sometimes I make mistakes, but I also do many things well." Notice how the restructured thought is not overly positive. It's balanced and realistic. The beauty of cognitive restructuring is that it's a skill, and like any skill, it gets easier with practice. The more you do it, the better you'll get at identifying distortions and replacing them with more balanced thoughts. Remember, it's not about getting rid of negative thoughts completely. It's about learning to manage them better, and it's okay if it feels difficult at first. Change is always challenging, but with persistence, it will become more natural, and you'll find yourself automatically questioning and restructuring those distortions. So, start today. Become that detective. Hunt down those cognitive distortions and replace them with more balanced thoughts. Because challenging cognitive distortions is a powerful tool to improve our emotional well-being. Having learned about the theory and process of cognitive restructuring, how can we incorporate this into our everyday lives? Let's delve into this in the next segment of our discussion. It's all good and well to understand cognitive restructuring, but the real benefits come from practicing it consistently. And the good news is, you can do it anytime, anywhere. Start by keeping a thought diary. Every time you catch yourself having a negative thought, write it down. Then, challenge it as we discussed earlier. Ask yourself if the thought is factual or just an interpretation. Look for evidence that supports or contradicts the thought. Consider alternative viewpoints. And finally, write down a more balanced thought. Remember, it's not about forcing positivity, but about aiming for a more balanced perspective. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm terrible at my job," you could restructure this to, "I had a tough day at work today, but I also know I've had successes in the past, and I can learn from my mistakes." Incorporating cognitive restructuring into your daily routine can be as simple as spending a few minutes each day reflecting on your thoughts. You could do this during your morning coffee, on your commute, or before bed. The key is to make it a regular practice. Over time, you'll find that cognitive restructuring becomes second nature. You'll catch and challenge cognitive distortions more easily and replace them with balanced thoughts almost automatically. And this can have a profound effect on your emotional well-being. So there you have it. Cognitive restructuring is a powerful tool that you can start using today to improve your mental health. And remember, practice makes perfect. So get started, keep at it, and watch how your thought patterns change for the better. Conclusion. Well, that's the end for the day. I hope you learned something new from this video. Comment the next book you want me to explore. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss our next video.